Welcome to Part of My Imagination. I'm Imagination and you're the Imaginers. Welcome if this is your first time. My name is Jasmine, and welcome back if this is your second or third or however many times you come back and visit me. Today I am going to be doing a extensive book review. Just kidding, it's not going to be that extensive. But I'm going to be doing a book reviews of... Shut up, Siri.
Hello?
Shut up, Siri. I'm going to be doing a book review of Beartown and Us Against You by Fredrick Backman. So, let's just, get right up into this. Okay, so, let's just talk about, first and foremost, what these books, or I should say series, is about. It is a duology as far as I know. I don't think there is a third one. It also is a translated version, but yes. So this book is pretty much following a town, Beartown, and it is a small town in Canada, and it is a hockey town. And in this hockey town, there's no one main character, and that's one of the first things that I loved about this book. It kind of just like moves around as this thing happens. So if you didn't know, the book is following the storyline of the captain of the hockey team rapes the coach's daughter, and it is following the events of before it happened, and it's kind of introducing you to this town and the people of this town, and and then the rape happens, and it's following the events after. And the reason why I wanted to do a review of this book or this series in general is because for me personally, obviously, I have never been raped before, so I can't account to how the main character, not main character, but the girl who was raped, I can't account to how she feels about the situation, right? But I can say, as someone who has been sexually harassed and sexually assaulted, and I can speak for as a woman. Obviously women are not the only people that are assaulted, but I can speak from that perspective and I can relate to that. But for me, what made this book so heartfelt, and I literally cried, like I don't know how many times I cried, but I cried in this story because it was so good. But what made the story for me was being able to be in everyone's mind. You got to be in the minds of people that weren't involved at all. Obviously, there were only two people. Well, there was more than two people involved. There was somebody that also seen it, and it is going through his mind and how he is being affected by it, how she's being affected by it, how the boy that raped, that was the rapist, is affected, and it's just going through the motions, and it's just talking about how this huge event has brought chaos to this small town. And it just was honestly it was just phenomenal. Like, I don't have any more words for it. And I just feel like it's a story that needs to be checked out, because I feel like as in society, this is how, like, there are a lot of viewpoints in here are how people think. And, you had people that, obviously you had the obvious people that as soon as they found out, like, some people were like on her side and they were just like there for her, and then there were obviously a lot of the people were like, calling her slut, calling her this and all that, and then she just wanted attention and all this crazy stuff. And I just think that it's not right for when people treat the victim as if like it was their fault. But what I will say, I don't even want to say it was interesting. I would just say it's a different perspective to be in that mind of the person. Like, where are they gathering these things from, and how are they feeling, knowing that they're saying these things and knowing that they're being hurtful. And it was also interesting because it is heavily playing on hockey. Obviously, this is a hockey town. So it's just, I don't know, man. It was just really good, and I am bad at articulating myself. But there is also another part of the story that is following one of the other hockey players who is, I don't know what the proper term is, but he's gay, but he's not out. There's only like two people that know that he is gay, and nobody else knows, and he's kind of dealing with that as well, while also like, and it's not also just dealing with like the rape victim and the rapist, it's also dealing with like the teammates and how they're dealing with it, because certain things happen in the book where they're not able to play their, well, they're able to play their final game, but like the town was banking on this game to like for the win. So like this win was going to secure another year of hockey, was going to bring more money into this town, and it's affecting jobs. And like, so like, it's not just a hockey team, like this hockey team is like the backbone of this damn town. And you're like, how are you guys just crazy about hockey, you damn Canadians? And like, what the but like, I mean, I get it, because like America has like their own, but you know what I'm saying, like, it's just everything is connected to everything. And there is like, without the politics, but there's political intrigue in it, just more based off of like the community politics, and like just seeing where people stand. And you know, it's dealing with the father and how he feels, and it's just, it leads into the second book so perfectly, like literally just. So then the second book is Us Against You, and this is the final book in the duology, I believe. I don't believe there's a third one, but this one is pretty much the aftermath of Beartown, and it just picks up like perfectly where it left off. And like literally, it just, this book, Beartown ended, and then Us Against You picked up, and it was just, I cried so many. Like, I was driving home and I freaking cried, and I called Princess as I'm like wiping away my tears, and I'm like, Princess, I'm crying. And she's like, oh my god, what's wrong? And I'm just like, nothing, I finished Us Against You, and I'm crying. And it was just, oh my god, it was so good. And it wasn't the first time that I cried. And the second one is also just like bringing more of a bang. Like, it's bringing a bang that, you know, you weren't expecting after you read the first one. And it just, Fredrick Backman, I'm telling you what, this man knows how to write, and he just knows how to write characters. And it's just phenomenal. So basically in the second one, and obviously this is spoiler if you haven't read the first one, then stop right here and don't carry on. But if you don't care, I'm not giving away full spoilers, I'm just talking about the overall aspects. And they kind of just, they don't bleed together, because I know exactly where the first one ended and where the second one starts, because I just finished Us Against You like literally last month. Or no, I finished it this month. Yeah, I haven't read that much in August, so yes. But anyways, so if you don't want to know any spoilers, just go ahead and click off. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you. But yes, so Us Against You, man, like, it picks up, and same thing, like, it's still it's still in that same point of view where it's touching on a ton of different people in the community, and it's dealing with the aftermath of the outcome from the court of, this charge or whatever. And, it's dealing with the mother of the rapist and that relationship and how it affected the marriage. And then it's dealing with the coach or the rape victim's parents and that relationship. And it just brought out a new perspective that I didn't even think about. Like, I sit here and I think, obviously I'm a mother and I have 2 daughters. And it's, there's certain things that you don't ever want to think about your child going through. So it's not something that I thought, like, if something happened to my child, how would that incident indirectly affect me, and how would it affect my relationships and how I view things. And you know, Fredrick Backman just kind of like put it out. He gave you that perspective that makes you think, and you're like, shit, how would this affect me? And I mean, obviously, as a parent or as anyone, and regardless, someone close to you, that anything bad happens to it has some type of play and effect on you, and how you respond to that, you know, can affect other people in your family or your friends around you. And that kind of is just like Fredrick Backman's book, and that's how this book is. And you know, you see how even the brother is affected. Even though he's younger, he's dealing with, like, you know, the brother syndrome of protecting his sister, and he's dealing with that. And you know, you're dealing with the boy that is gay, who people really still don't know, and then he ends up getting outed, which is I literally was so, I wanted to throw the book. I was so frustrated. I cried at this instance because I was so frustrated with the character that outed him, and for the reason it was just stupid, and people die in the book, and it's just so crazy. Oh my god, it's just there's actually a little bit more of actual politics in play into the second one, and it was just so well tied together. And like I said, it just continues on the interconnection of this community into the second one, and it's just dealing with different personalities. And just, I keep saying the same thing, but I'm telling you, you need to read this series. You need to read it, and especially because it just brings in those different perspectives that you just wouldn't think about. And Beartown ended like phenomenal. Not Beartown, but Us Against You. It ended phenomenal. Like, I wouldn't change the ending. Sad things happened in it. You know, I loved the way it closed out. It was a good ending to, you know, it was a good closeout for the family of the victim. And it might bring, I don't want to say it would bring closure, because I don't know. But I mean, tread lightly if you are a victim. But overall, I really, really highly recommend this series. It's really good. And Fredrick Backman overall deals with really touchy subjects. I read A Man Called Ove, and that book was pretty much about an old man who wanted to kill himself. And every day, you know, there was a reason that stopped him, or like his neighbor would just come over and bug the fuck out of him. And you know, it was heartfelt. Like, I really enjoyed it. I cried. I've cried at every Fredrick Backman book that I've read, and he is literally one of my favorite authors. So yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling, because I can go on and on about how this book, I just want to spoil it for you guys, and I've kind of given a little bit of spoilers, but not too much, just because you don't know which characters are who and stuff like that. So and just the way he built up to some of those climaxes, I'm telling you what, this man can write. And the translations were like I don't know if they were spot on, because obviously I don't speak the language of what it was translated, but like, there wasn't a mishap. I'll say that there wasn't a mishap. I freaking love this book. I love this series so much, and I will definitely reread it again so I can get like a good cry when I need it, because so good. But yes, that's it. That's the book review. I hope that you guys will read this book. I hope that you guys will check out Fredrick Backman, because I highly recommend him. And yeah, so yeah. Alright, so that's all that I have for you guys today. Be sure to check out my description, where you can find easy ways to contact me, as well as all the books that I talked about. If you liked this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you didn't, just imagine that you didn't come back again. Until next time, keep imagining.